Making me yawn now. So, I'll piss off. I don't know why I'm taking notes, but I'm going to transcribe this anyways. But yeah.
That was what I was writing to pretend that I was typing.
What's that?
That was awkward. Thanks, Jason. Okay, let's go. Just writing like random things.
It's been a good day, innit?
Yeah.
A good day being influencers. Day. It's a hard life.
Day in a life.
But maybe now for a little bit more serious talk. Nah. What were we talking about before we decided to just switch the camera on?
Well, you were saying about waking up in the morning and like instead of going on your phone first thing in the morning, which obviously we all know, but like actually this idea of, you said, priming your mind being really important.
Right. So yeah. So this is kind of what I do first thing on the morning. What I do first thing on the morning is kind of prime my mind, and that's anything from meditating. Used to do a lot of breath work, but now I've been listening to a lot of Neville Goddard first thing on the morning, and the reason why is to prime your mind. But there's a part of your mind, part of your brain called the prefrontal cortex, which is like for processing information and learning and all that kind of stuff. And it's most active first thing on the morning. It's active on the night as well before you go to bed, but it's most active on that morning. So it's like kind of prime time to reprogram your subconscious, and prime time for like kind of taking in information. And there's a kind of brainwave, which I can't remember, but Bailey, shout out to you, was telling us about that's kind of that kind of brainwave that you are on that time in the morning, which is prime time for reprogramming your conscious. But the other thing is if you set yourself up for the day, right? So if you prime your mind, a lot of things I like to do is visualization. So while I'm listening to Neville Goddard, he's speaking, and I'm kind of visualizing my future, visualizing the day ahead, the things that I'm going to do, whether it be work, training, anything like that, things that get you excited, things that you can tie kind of emotion to, get you happy. You're tying the feeling of like gratitude to that as well, which just makes it even more powerful. But the idea is, if you start your day right, then you generally have a good day. You stack those days on top of each other, you have a good week. You stack the weeks on top of each other, you have a great month. Then you keep repeating the process, and ultimately you have a great year. You keep repeating that process, you have a great life. And it's like life is made up of all these little things, and one of the most simplest things you can do on a morning is just stop fucking scrolling and basically just do something that's going to feed your mind with something that is better for you, because a lot of people, depending on what you've got on your social media, if you're taking in a lot of negative stuff, which most of the time it's hard to get away from, because there's always negative shit going on in the world, and sometimes it's hard to get away from that, even if you're trying to avoid it. So one way to actually avoid it is just to not go on it first at least a couple of hours on the morning. And I promise you, if you try that, like, your life will just start to change for the better.
Yeah, I can just see that as well, like feel how it will be so much easier to overcome obstacles in the day, because you'll be coming with this like momentum of, first of all having done so many things in the first couple of hours of the day, but also like being in this mindset of being open to different things, but also being in the right wavelength to do the things that you want to do and the things that excite you. And like if there's any kind of obstacles, you won't be like bummed out by it. You'll be like, easy, let's get over that quickly.
You're just on that shit. Like, it's not even it doesn't even come into the equation anymore to get stuff done. It just, after you do it so many times, it just becomes what you do.
Yeah.
And you kind of like get the ball rolling, and it's kind of snowball effect. So like, doing these first few things in the morning that just put you in good routine, having a good morning routine puts you in a good state. which, you know, when it comes to doing the bits of work or things that you might otherwise procrastinate on, you just do it. And then you keep repeating that and it just becomes normal. It's not even a thing that you have to try and do anymore.
It's actually really good advice for like me, because I'm someone that can't put my phone down like the whole day. I've always got my phone in my hand for some reason, and it's such a small change to make, but just being on your phone for like long periods of time, it really does affect like the kind of state you're in. You know, without it being this huge like deal, just being on your phone, you're in a very different state. So tricking yourself to not be on your phone for that first hour every single day will make a huge difference to that first hour and for the rest of the day.
And do you know what it is? If you find an hour too difficult, just go, right, I'm going to do 10 minutes. So I always look at, especially if it's new things that you're going to do, new changes in your life that you're going to make, right?
Yeah.
You want to reduce the friction as much as possible. So instead of saying, like for me, I'm like, 2 hours sound. Instead of saying that, you go, right, for the first 10-15 minutes, I will not go on my phone. And then once you start to do 10-15 minutes, well, right, now I'm going to up it to 30 minutes, 45 minutes, and I guarantee once you're 45 minutes to an hour in, you will have forgotten about picking that phone up because you're already getting into your routine, started doing the things that you need to do on a morning, and you'll have forgotten about it. And then you're like, you know, you could be 2-3 hours balls asleep into it, and you're like, oh shit, I haven't looked at my phone. And if I haven't looked at my phone for 3 hours, which just took up so much attention, what are the things that you managed to achieve? And then once you actually realise how much you start to achieve without doing that, you're like, this is a game changer to productivity. I got, you know, like shit, I've done a half a day's work already when, you know, maybe I might have just been scrolling and stuff. And don't get us wrong, the majority of us, a lot of us these days, we do a lot of work from our phone. And so there is value in having phones. There is value from being able to work from your phone and create content and edit and all of these things. But I think we need to just implement some kind of boundaries.
100%.
I mean, personally, boundaries is something that I would have in various different areas of life, like boundaries on an evening as well. When do you actually shut off your phone? When do you call it a day? When do you close the lid on the laptop?
Yeah.
Which, you know, I'm pretty regimented back home, but like I found myself on the laptop at 10:30 at night over here, which, like, back home it's 8 o'clock. That laptop is closed already. It's probably closed about 7 o'clock at night. But yeah, I would just say in all areas of life, really, you can, if you create some kind of boundaries, you know, whether that's morning, evening routine, food, fasting, you know, like, but having boundaries in place, like it serves its purpose. Like it's not a bad thing. Do you know what I mean?
I think we're going to need it so much more with phones now. Like, I think the more people are going on their phones, you know, the more we use it for different things like entertainment, work, like AI, like our personal guide in life. Like, we're all using it so much more that suddenly we're going to have healthy boundaries around phone usage. And obviously people are doing it already, like limiting their phones and stuff.
Well, there's some apps out there now that where it does force you to limit time on your phone. Somebody was telling me the other day that she has to solve maths before she can turn her alarm off.
There's one where you have to do press ups and it gives you like 10 per minute.
Things like that. I think it's actually a good idea.
Yeah, it is a good idea. Because what happens is it breaks the habit. Like, if you have a bad habit, if you stop that habit for a second to think about something else, that gives you enough time to escape that. Same as when you wake up on your phone, you know, it gives you, and that's what the whole point of what you said is.
It is, and as soon as, like, the thing is we are unconscious 95% of the time, and we just do things because we do them, because it's routine, because it's habitual. And so, again, just breaking that pattern, going, I need to solve a little equation, I need to do 10 press-ups before I can do my alarm, or whatever it is, it kind of gives you that time to just, hold on, I don't need to actually scroll here.
Yeah. Remove that compulsion. That's interesting. Anyway.
So, now, but also what you were saying there with the AI stuff, this one's for the fellow vibe coders out there, is this shit is addictive. Vibe coding is addictive as hell, because I don't know if you've done any of it. So vibe coding is basically prompting to create apps or websites and things like that.
Yeah.
And it's so like easy to just be prompting, and you build something and you're like, I'll do this, I'm gonna add this. And you know, I've been speaking to a lot of people at the gym over at Nirvana this past couple of weeks about vibe coding, and some of them are staying up till like 2-3 o'clock in the morning vibe coding on the laptop, building things, and you know, everybody wants to be the next, like, you know, $1 million app or whatever, you know, and you've got this kind of buzz, this is the thing that I'm creating.
Yeah.
And it's good, but again, going back to the boundaries, you need to have some boundaries in place, because what happens is when you overstep these boundaries, you end up staying up till 3 o'clock in the morning. So what happens to your morning routine? You wake up later, probably don't do your standard morning priming routine because you've already woke up late, and then, you know, maybe you start to skip gym sessions, or I know myself, when I'm tired, that's when I can kind of like almost derail or just like slack a little bit in terms of like the things that I do, in terms of like, you know, it doesn't really happen now, but food, I'll give you for an instance. So when you drink alcohol, you wake up tired and hungover the next day, you've had not much sleep, you're probably not going to go to the gym. When you're thinking about eating food, you're probably not going to make the right food choices. And that's the same as when you're tired from being up all night. It's like, it's easier to just go, I'm not going to go to the gym, I'm just going to eat that whatever food it is. Do you know what I mean? It has a knock-on effect to the rest of your life. And the other thing is, it's like,
I think that's really interesting though, because like we speak about the micro level of like giving yourself momentum day by day and how important that is. But sometimes the opposite can happen, where people get too obsessed with the macro level. They think they have $1 million idea, they get really desperate about this one thing that they're working on that they think is the shit, which maybe it is, but what that does is if it knocks over everything else, all the foundations, it might not be worth it, because maybe the foundations is what even gets you to the point of having those ideas.
So this takes me back to when I was building out Limitless, the app, last year, right? So I was like vibe coding before it was even a thing, before vibe coding was a thing. So we started doing that in like Feb. Obviously vibe coding was a thing, but the term vibe coding wasn't a thing. And I found myself working late, and maybe not 1-2 o'clock, but certainly tipping on 12 o'clock at night when I'm in bed for 8, 8:30.
Yeah.
And the things that I'm teaching my clients is having structure, having a good morning routine, having a good evening routine, having boundaries, not overworking, because when you overwork and you work that late, what happens the next day is you're tired, you're underproductive, your mood drops, your stress levels increase. So I was literally building an app to help people with these things, but then I was kind of breaking my own rules, or like, you know, like falling out of like what I'm trying to teach, because I'm building something. And so I had to reel it back in, and that's where I said, right, what do I need to achieve? What is a good number of hours to work? Like, what is a sensible number of hours to work to where, you know, I'm still going to be productive, I'm still going to the gym, I've still got my nutrition locked in, I'm still getting, like, I've got a good morning and evening routine, and I'm not burning myself out. And so I literally wrote all my schedule and just said, like, I'm sticking to this religiously. As soon as it got to, if I was on the laptop at 8 o'clock at night, as soon as it got to 8 o'clock, no matter what I was doing, it was like, right, bump, sleep, okay, done. And after you do that a few times, you realise, actually, I'm more productive the next day. Don't get me wrong, if there's something so urgent, like let's say I've got 10 people on the app, 10 clients using the platform, and it goes down, yeah, that's probably, you know,
Yeah.
I can stay up till 11 or 12 and get that shit fixed. But if it's something I'm waiting until the next morning and I'm going to be even more productive, then I just wait until the next day, because sometimes it's as well when you're trying to figure things out. Let's say you're overworking on an evening, your productivity might drop to like 60-70%, whereas, you know, you're just wasting time there, really. Whereas if you get a good sleep, you wake up the next day and your brain's just like
Way faster.
it's just way faster, and you just get shit done and a lot quicker. You're a lot more productive, so it can actually be like counterproductive.
Yeah. It's funny because I've been thinking about this a lot recently, because I've actually been doing that where, you know, my mind is so active at night and I'm like, oh, I haven't got enough done in the day, or I'm like, oh, maybe I could quickly get this thing done so that I'm in a better position for tomorrow. But you end up spending the same hours, if not more, doing that thing that you could have done fresh tomorrow anyway. And I honestly think it goes back to this idea of like compulsion and like those kind of bad habits, because I think it's also a bad habit, like you said, being addicted to vibe coding. That was good.
Yeah.
Vibe coding and all of these other things that you suddenly kind of want to do at night because you have this kind of dreamer state come over you where you're like, oh yeah, I need to do this, I need to do that. Like, instead of just leaving it for tomorrow and having the discipline to say like, okay, I'm going to tell myself, I'm going to tell that part of myself, let's give it a rest today, but we'll get on with it tomorrow, the next day. Controlling that compulsion, but also having that balance of, if there is something really important where it'd just be kind of dumb to leave it, then that's like the balance of, you know, not giving
Obviously,
into that habit.
And you know, there are things that will happen in business where, you know, or you might get a last minute job that you need, it just has to get done. Okay, get that shit done, but don't make it a habit to just keep doing it for the sake of it, or just putting off your work during the day to then, you know, work late at night, and then it's just like a knock-on effect. You're probably better off just going, do you know what it is? I haven't had much of a productive day today. Let's take today as kind of a rest day, or a deload day, and then, right, tomorrow when I get on the laptop nice and early, or on the phone or whatever it is, I'm going to get shit done. And once you do, you start to get the ball rolling with that, and you realise how happy you are, how less stressed you are, how, you know, because the other thing is, when you wake with the sun, when you go to sleep kind of with the sun, with the circadian rhythm, you're a lot happier. Like, it's a lot more natural. Do you know what I mean? Like, so I think there's many things to think about with it. Like, you can go into as much detail as you want, really, but I think that I think the message, if anybody is watching this video, is just having some boundaries in place, and you know what they are. You were just saying there, you already know that, you know, not scrolling and having a good morning routine, you already know that.
Yeah.
But it's like, what does that look like for you? What is your boundaries? What are your boundaries? And then just putting them into place and going, actually, I am functioning a lot better here. Maybe I do a little bit more of this. And, you know, life's never going to be perfect. And again, something comes up. Maybe you do have to work a late night, but maybe just not let it be a continuous thing where it just completely knocks you out of routine.
Yeah, great advice. Great advice for everyone watching back home, our millions of viewers.
If it's the first time you're seeing this beautiful face, and this one obviously as well, we just became Bali influencers, so go check out our other content. We kind of we've been doing some funny shit today. It has been a really good day.
It's been good.
I've really enjoyed it. But yeah, we thought we'd just put the camera on, have a little bit of a boss, because we literally started. I do this all the time. I talk with people, and then we're like, oh, we should have just put the camera on. We carry mics about with us, tripods about with us. Why don't we just film this shit?
Exactly.
So that's why we put the camera on and just decided to have a bit of a conversation. Yeah, hope you took some value from it. Yeah, like, subscribe, all of that jazz, and everything else. Peace.
Ciao. Good shit. Yeah, that was cool.
Oh.